Hello guys, this is StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mauni and I welcome, in fact, warmly welcome all of you in this discussion. The date today is 16 September 2017, day is Saturday. Before moving ahead, dear friends, I would like to introduce all of you to our pen drive and tablet courses. Now, if you are preparing for SSC, Bank, UPSC, or other state level public service commission exams, then we have different courses for all these different exams. Now the good thing about, there are two USPs, like unique selling proposition, of this pen drive and tablet courses. The first thing and the most important is that it is prepared by the best faculties of our country. So the things that you get here would be of top quality. And the second thing is that as you get this, you can utilize them within your digital platforms, like you can use it on your tablet, phone, you can use it on your laptop. So that means you can carry your classroom wherever you go. So these two things are one of the most important benefits. And if you have any further query, if you want to know from where you can order it, then these are our numbers. You can give us a call on this number, and you can also check out our studyiq.com website, and there is a chat support available on this website, so you can utilize that as well if you have any question or query regarding this pen drive and tablet courses. Now, dear friends, as I told you, today is 16 September, and today is one of the most important day because it is a day that is impacting all of us. In fact, it impacts the life under the sun, right, on this planet, because today is Ozone Day. World Ozone Day is celebrated on 16th September every year. Now it's 23rd Ozone Day today, but the most important thing is it all started with Montreal Protocol, right? This year, 2017, is the 30th anniversary of Montreal Protocol. Now I'm sure you might have heard about it somewhere. You might have heard about Montreal Protocol, and many of you would be confused regarding what Montreal Protocol is all about. Let me tell you, don't go with these words, right? Protocol and agreement. Basically it means a sort of understanding, right? This is the main thing. So, and why you have Montreal? Montreal is a place in Canada. I'll show you. Let's see where Canada is. Here is your North American continent, and on North American continent you have two giant countries. One is Canada and one is United States of America. Canada in land wise, it is second largest country of the world. As you can see, it is huge. The other thing is here is your Montreal, right? It is right on the somewhere near the border of United States of America and Canada. So this is your Montreal. And apart from that, there are other things for new students, those who have just started preparing for civil services. I would recommend all of you to spend some time with this picture. When I say spend some time, then what you have to do, I'll give you a small sort of tip of how you can go through it. You can start with either north, south, or east or west. Say for example, if I start with north, then I will locate that, okay, I find Arctic Ocean on the northern side of Canada. Then if I go clockwise, like from this side, then I find that, okay, there is a big piece of land that is known as Greenland, and in this Greenland is, I also find it is Denmark is written here. That means it would be owned by Denmark. And then when I also, if I observe minutely, then I find a sort of Arctic Circle line is passing through it. What is another line that is passing through my country, India? Then I find that, okay, it is Tropic of Cancer. So if Tropic of Cancer is representing a sort of a zone of tropical area, a warmer area, or a torrid area, then Arctic Circle, anything, if you go northern side of Arctic Circle, then definitely it would get severely cold, isn't it? And in fact, we know very well Canada. You might have seen Canada in many movies, particularly Punjabi movies. We find Canada a lot, and in Bollywood movies as well. We have seen many films are shot in Canada. So the first thing that comes in your mind when I talk about Canada is, of course, snowfall, isn't it? So we know that it is a cold country. So then you come down, then you find another ocean water body, that is Labrador Sea. Then you find that Atlantic Ocean is here. It is sharing a huge border with United States of America, and the line is quite straight. That means there should be some agreement between these two countries. Then you come on this side, you find Pacific Ocean. Then you can go through other countries, like you can see Ottawa is the capital and other important things. You have some description here, so you can do that. So in this way, one country will be there in your mind, isn't it? You have managed to have a reasonably good grip on one country. And imagine if you are doing this every day, every picture that has been provided to you, if you are spending 5-6 minutes after it, right, then you will find after a couple of months you won't have words to express your gratitude towards this technique. You will say, thank you sir, so much sir, for sharing these things, because based on these things you would be able to understand the economy of the world. Based on these things you would be able to understand the geopolitics of the world. Based on these things you will understand and you would be able to answer so many questions pertaining to geography and history as well, right? So this is a technique that you should do every day. So here is your Montreal. Now Montreal Protocol is basically dealing with ozone. As I told you, we are celebrating Ozone Day today. So this Montreal Protocol is pertaining with ozone. Now why ozone is important? What is ozone all about? Now see, our earth is divided into, basically we can divide our earth into 3 different layers, right? One is lithosphere, that is pertaining with the land form, the land on which we are living, the land that you find underneath the ocean or the ocean floor. That is all land, isn't it? So that falls in the category of the land portion or lithosphere. Then you have another category that is known as hydrosphere. So all the water bodies, right? All the form of water, may it be the clouds, may it be the glaciers, or may it be the ocean water, or the water in the river, or the water in ponds. So everything falls under, anything to do with water is hydrosphere. And the third layer is atmosphere, everything that is related with air or different sorts of gases, right? So based on this, now if we break down the atmosphere, then we find that scientists have divided them in different layers. So starting from the surface of Earth, we have troposphere, we have stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exospheres. Now you find different kilometers and different range. Don't worry about it. You don't have to remember this sort of things. These questions are outdated. They don't ask you this sort of questions. They have stopped it, in fact, from last many years, nearly half a decade or more than that. So you won't find this sort of questions in your prelims exams as well. But what is important for you to know is that ozone layer, when we are talking about ozone layer, then you find ozone layer in stratosphere. Now where is stratosphere? Starting from Earth's surface, it is second in rank, isn't it? So first is troposphere and second is stratosphere. Remember, we are not talking from top to bottom, we are talking from bottom to up. So from bottom you find the second layer is stratosphere, and this is the layer where you find ozone. Now what is the main job of ozone? Ozone basically is a sort of it is a layer, it is a protective layer, and it prevents the ultraviolet rays that are emitted by sun, right? So it blocks them and it allows only the good light to enter the Earth's atmosphere, or to enter or to be intercepted by the Earth, and in this way the life on Earth is safe and sound. Now ultraviolet rays, if they enter in atmosphere, then what happens, or if they manage to hit our surface, then what happens is that many people they get skin cancer, eye cataract, and it is not only about human beings, it is about animals as well. Many animals, plant species, they do get severely impacted because of ozone. So ozone is not I beg your pardon, ultraviolet rays. So ultraviolet rays are not good for us, and it is the ozone that is protecting it. And now as you know that ozone is protecting this layer, so it was all about protecting the ozone layer of our Earth, and this was done 30 years ago in 1987 in Montreal. So that is the reason why it has got a name, Montreal Protocol. So now, from now on, whenever anyone asks you a question, if you are thinking about Montreal Protocol, then remember it is about ozone. Do try to remember this pictures that I have shown you, right? This one as well, that it is in Canada and it is regarding ozone. So keep this thing in mind. This is one of the main reason I have gone into this much detail, because you have Kyoto Protocol and you have Kigali Agreement, you have Paris Agreement, so you have different agreements, right? We'll talk about it when we if in future when we'll discuss that thing or whenever it is in news, but as of now it is Montreal, so Montreal is related with ozone, so I'm distinguishing it with the other agreement so you don't get any sort of confusion at all. Now the good thing about Montreal, or some unique thing about it, is that it is one of the most successful treaty of the world, right? One of the most successful global environmental treaty, and this works under United Nations, right? When this came into play in 87, since then 98% of ozone depleting, that is the gases or chemicals which are destroying ozone, we have found a sort of 98% reduction in that gases. So this is a huge success, and these are the gases here. One is chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs. These were highly used in making refrigerators and air conditions. Also the hairspray and body spray that were used around 20-30 years ago, we used to find them in huge quantity, and this are the main culprit of creating holes in this ozone layer. Now this, remember, CFCs are also powerful greenhouse gases, so apart from destroying this ozone, they are also contributing in global warming, and now they are replaced with HCFCs, that is hydrochlorofluorocarbons and hydrofluorocarbons. So these are the two gases that have replaced the CFCs, but yes, they are also damaging, but less damaging. But step by step the whole world is under Montreal Protocol is committed that by after a couple of years we are not going to use them at all. The good thing, another unique point, is that Montreal Protocol has been signed by 197 United Nations member countries. So this itself indicates that the whole world is on the same page when we talk about protecting the ozone layer. In Kigali Agreement, now I have purposefully not provided you Kigali. Kigali is a place. I'll give you a small tip. It is in Africa, so you have to find it, right? Where it is. It is a capital of a small country in Africa. This is your homework, and I want all of you to take part in this question. When you find them, do post it on the comment section below this video, right? Please do take participation in this sort of things. You may feel that no, I don't want to answer. I know naturally how we behave is, if someone has already answered, and if you know that okay, I know this is the place, it is here, then what I will do is I will not make any effort in providing my answer. This is not how you should do it. What you should do is, if you know someone has posted the answer, then how about you provide some countries that are sharing border with this particular country. How about you say that equator is this much far from here, or Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn is far from here, right? These are the things you can add on. These things, don't limit yourself. You are preparing for civil services, IAS, isn't it? So you have to use your creativity and innovation, and step by step this will help you with your overall preparation as well. In this way you would be contributing knowledge, and the person who would be reading your comments, he will also find something new with your comments. So this is not any person's responsibility. This is something that you all have to do. This is how we can make this digital platform more interactive and more creative, right? So use the best, make the best out of it. So right, in Kigali, important role played by India. What India did is, India came out with a sort of guidelines for it. India said that we need two concepts for developed and developing countries. We know very well that developed countries have they have got all this developed. They developed because of all the industrial and other industries that were running over there, and this happened in developed countries before our countries like India and other developing countries, and because of this they are the ones who have contributed a lot in destroying this environment. So we cannot be on the same page, we cannot have same standards, right? We need to take out our people from poverty. So for that we need development, economical development, and for that we need energy and industries and all different infrastructure. So for that we have to use energy, and when we use energy, then there is going to be some sort of side effects. So for the developed countries there should be limitations. So what India said, like say for example USA should stop using this sort of gases by 2020, right? Because it has all the money, technology and everything. But country like India, we will do it a bit later on, say for example 2013. So these are the two different baselines that was talked about, or that this was presented and accepted in Montreal Protocol, and this was presented by India. Remember, the theme of this year is caring for all life under sun. This is the theme. So many times you find this question, and this is the 23rd World Ozone Day, and it is the 30th anniversary of Montreal Protocol. Moving on to another item, it is about government has lifted the ban on export on tur, urad and mung dal. Now this tur, urad and mung are pulses. Now based on this example, I will try to explain all of you how the whole economy works and how government works as a protector of economy. Now see, in India we know it very well that we have one of the highest amount of poor people living in our country, isn't it? Now the thing is, for these poor people, the main source of protein is pulses. India is a country that is planting pulses. We know we have many sort of different dals. We use it in different cuisines around the country, and if you observe, I have seen it, right? I have also I have been lucky enough to break the breads with people who are working in this sector. So I have tasted their food, and I have found that protein is something they eat in the morning, in the afternoon, and at the dinner time as well, right? In their breakfast, lunch and dinner you find protein. There is some sort of protein. They have dal or they have other things in it, and this gives them energy, and this gives them the strength required to do all this laborious work. So for them, protein is one of the main source of energy and for their strength as well, so that they can carry out their economical activities. Now to make this story short, what happened last year, or in 2014, right? 2014, the production of pulses was not that much that we normally require. So for that we have to import the pulses from other countries. Now when we started importing it, the country that were supplying it, they realized that okay, India is in demand, India needs pulses, and we are the supplier, so how about we can raise the prices? So what they did, they increased the price of this thing, because suddenly this thing was in demand and suppliers were limited, so they increased its price. So finally the pulses that we got here was a bit expensive. Now if poor people are relying on this thing, then you can imagine that if the prices are shooting up at 120, 150 or 180, 190 or 200 for example for 1 kilo, and if they are eating this thing on regular basis, then it is not going to be something that they can afford. And if they don't eat this, then definitely it is going to impact their health as well in the longer term or in the near future. So what government did, government provided some subsidies, and then later on government decided that now we have to ensure that we encourage all the farmers to produce pulses. So with this we have managed to produce that much that is enough for our country. So you can see here, last year it was 16.35 million ton. This year we are clocking at 22.4 million ton. So this is good. Now what happens is, once it is out in market, when it is ready to distributed in the market, government puts a sort of export ban, so that exporters do not export it to other countries. And with this we ensure that all the poor people, we have enough supply to manage or to fulfill the demand, so that the price is reasonable. And once government finds that okay, now the distribution is even, everyone has got their dal and protein source, now we can, there are enough dal for till the next season. So with this excessive dal that we have, let's remove this export ban. With this the farmers can export it to other countries and make some money out of it as well. So this is how government keeps a balance in protecting the interest of poor people, in protecting the interest of farmers and everyone in the country, right? So I hope with this example you would have understood how things work when they put sort of ban on export or import. Moving on to another item, Gst Council. Now remember, Gst Council is the highest decision making body when it comes to GST taxes. GST is basically a sort of an indirect tax, and recently we have discussed that there was a sort of technical problem in execution of this GST. There is a thing called GST network, on which this is a sort of online platform on which you have to file your GST returns. So there were technical issues with it, and to sort it out, Gst Council decided to form a committee, and this committee is headed by Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Sushil Kumar Modi. Keep this in mind. Under him there is a small team of group of ministers who are going to work, and they are going to sort out the problems that are associated with GST network. Moving on to another item, United Nations Security Council has strongly condemned North Korea's recent launch of a ballistic missile that flew over Japan. Now, Japanese Prime Minister, he just landed in Japan from India, and what we find is that this sort of things are taking place in that country, or the activities carried out by North Korea is a sort of a big security problem for Japan. So the United Nations Security Council, which is the sort of a defense body of United Nations, has strongly condemned it. A couple of days ago I have provided you who are the members and how it works, so I'm not going into those details. But the good thing is that China as well, see, when it comes to North Korea, nearly 80 to 90% of trade of North Korea is with China. So that means North Korea is relying heavily on China for all its economical activities. And the good thing about this sort of resolution is that China has also backed, China has also supported, and China has strongly condemned North Korea's rogue activities. So hopefully we will find some breakthrough in near future. See, this is a thing that is going to take place for the long period of time, so it is not that we can come to a conclusion. We have to wait and watch. We have to keenly and meticulously observe the things that are going on with this part of the world, and I have provided you a map of this part of the world earlier as well. But let me quickly tell you, this is your South Korea, this is North Korea. You can see it is known as peninsula because you find water for the three parts of this place. Here you have Sea of Japan, then you'll also observe Yellow Sea, East China Sea. If you go down a little bit, you find Philippines Sea as well. Then you found a way to South China Sea, and you find China here. It is also sharing border with Russia, and Japan is not far from here. So these are important things that you should keep yourself updated with. Organization of Islamic Cooperation. This is a group of 57 nations, and as you can see from the name itself, it is about Islamic countries contributing or cooperating with each other, and organization is formed of Islamic countries. Now the thing is, the reason why it is in news, hardly you don't find it, even though it is the second largest intergovernmental organization after United Nations, because it has 57 nations. No other group has this many nations under one umbrella. Anyways, the reason why it is in news is because it has talked about, or it has expressed its stand on Kashmir issue. Now India has strongly condemned it. India has clearly stated that this is nothing to do with you. You have no right whatsoever to talk about Kashmir. Kashmir is a sort of internal issue of our country, so no organization has any right to take it to United Nations. And here you have another thing, India's permanent mission to the United Nations in Geneva. Now do tell me, do pass me the information or answer in comment section where Geneva is, right? So I would be waiting for this thing as well. So India has clearly stated that. This is a small map. Of course, I have not covered the 57 countries here, but you can roughly see that Arabic countries are here. And the good thing about IOC or OIC, or the unique thing about OIC, is that there are basically two divisions in Islam. One is Shia and one is Sunni, and the way things are going on around the Arab world, and we find that they are not in cordial, they don't share a sort of cordial relation with each other. They are always a sort of in opposition with each other, Shia and Sunni faction. But the good thing about OIC is that they're on the same page. So you find Saudi Arabia as well as a member of OIC, and you have Iran as well. Anyways, moving on to another item, and the last thing of the day is about two questions that I have for you. The one is Yuddh Abhyas. It is related with which two countries of this four countries that is given here, or the four options that you find on your screen. And once you find the right option, then do give me a sort of descriptive analysis. I'm not talking about 200, 500 words, just a couple of points would be suffice. Just tell me what would be the benefit if it is conducting with India and Nepal, India, Japan, India and Bangladesh, and India, USA. Then based on the relation of these two countries, you can provide some points on it. With this, I end this discussion. Do not forget to get your pen drive and tablet courses. Do not forget to download this lecture from website or from Telegram channel. Subscribe, share, like, and I would wait for your answers and valuable comment. and tomorrow is Sunday, so I won't interact with you on PIB platform, but yes, I will provide you Hindu analysis lecture. With this, I end this discussion. See you all soon. Till then, enjoy your studies. Take care. Goodbye for now.